supported by the Spool House. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs.
Making the play.
He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's moving. It's over. Save. Oh my God!
Did you see that?
Great diving play.
He's hit a touchdown. Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
Hello everyone and welcome to Todd Field at McNamara Stadium as we get set for a boys lacrosse matchup here on HCTV between the St. Thomas Academy Cadets and the Hastings Raiders. The Cadets coming with a record of 9-0, the Raiders with a record of 2-5. We're just moments away from tip-off here. Owen Ely on the broadcast here for HCTV. Should have a good one for you here this evening. St. Thomas comes into this matchup the number 8 team in the state, obviously an undefeated record, and Hastings looking to get back to some of their winning ways that they had earlier in the season. As we take a look at the Metro East Conference, there you can see St. Thomas 3-0 in the conference, 9-0 overall. Hastings 1-3 in the conference, still above Simley, but there's plenty of good teams in the conference. There you see Hill Murray, St. Paul, Two Rivers, both got winning records in the conference. Pretty good records overall, 7-2 for each of them, so a pretty strong conference here. As both teams meet here at midfield. Handful of players to watch in this one on both sides, including Tony Malesio, the leading goal scorer for Hastings, 26 goals on the season. It'll be interesting to see him matching up against Luke Hudson, 34 goals for this St. Thomas team, a team that travels pretty well. Got a good attendance here. 64 degrees here for the start of this one as we're underway here from McNamara Stadium. Face-off taken here from the Cadets. Raiders posting up here in a defensive position. Obviously a very high-octane St. Thomas offense as we have a player stumbling down there. That's Bushlack for the Cadets. We have a delayed call coming here against Hastings. Driving in, pushed to the outside, shot fired as it goes out of the field of play. Shot there from Nathan Williams. 18 points on the season for Williams. And so we'll have a Raider in the box here, returning to action. A tight defense here surrounding the netminder Colvin. Handful of passes around the umbrella here. Couldn't connect on a little skipper there to Clark as it rolls out of the field of play. And so Raiders possession here on the inbound. That one sent about 80, 90 yards down the field, and that's going to roll out of bounds. Just flung like a Josh Allen pass. So St. Thomas back in action here. Looking to test this Raiders defense. Reagan over to the near side. Give and go back to Clark. Now up top. Back to Clark down low behind Colvin. Find some space on the near side, and a stuff there from Colvin. Ball still anybody's for the taking. Good box out there from a couple of St. Thomas attack as they'll maintain possession. Errant pass. Sends the ball over to center field. And it'll be an offsides. And possession will be given here to the Raiders. So now the Raiders for the first time on the attack here. McGraw rolls it past the goaltender there, Schumacher. Possession staying here with Hastings. Patient approach here from the Raiders. Now the Raiders cornered in that far side. So now St. Thomas back with possession. We'll see how they can try to crack the scoring here against a Raiders team without Tony Malesio. We'll have a delayed penalty upcoming off of an errant pass. Coming up here against Hastings, pushing St. Thomas towards the outside, and there we'll get the whistle here just north of 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. This is a Raiders team as we take a look at head coach Brian Wilson. Looking to get a win here tonight against a highly ranked St. Thomas team. It's a Raiders squad that comes in having lost their last 2 games. Saw them earlier for their season opener as that one cracks along the post and out of the field of play. It was a convincing 19-12 victory in the Battle of Highway 61 over Park. Another delayed penalty here against Hastings as that one is slung right past Colvin off the stick of Clark.
Down by the ref.
This matchup here between St. Thomas and Hastings, somehow only the 3rd home game of the year for Hastings. They'll have a couple of more home games as well to close out the year. So a favorable stretch of the schedule here for the Raiders. Still scoreless here in this one. Another point blank shot, that one no good from Luca Pedri. And there we see, tried to go top shelf, just a little off the mark there from Pedri. St. Thomas not deterred here, staying on the attack. Fires a low bowling shot, another save there from Colvin. He settles down the ball.
Mine was not super close, but I did still.
As Bayer slings up a pass, a race for the ball. Going to be nearly scooped up there from Hansen. He might have lost track of that one there. It's eventually scooped up from Shoemaker. So a good opportunity there for Hastings. Couldn't quite connect on the pass there. Now right in front of Colvin, a point blank shot. Something went awry for Tommy Bushlack looking for goal number 28. As this has been quite the start here from Colvin. Came into this one with a 12.8 goals against, 54% save percentage. Already a handful of saves in this one, as we'll get a timeout called on the field here with 6:12 to go in the first quarter. Still a scoreless game here, which might surprise some people given the high-octane nature of this St. Thomas offense. We've seen the Raiders in a couple of their games this year struggle at times with time of possession. Certainly the time of possession controlled here from the visiting Cadets. The Raiders defense holding strong here. And we'd like to thank the Spool House for sponsoring this broadcast. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. More information is available at thespoolhouse.com. So both teams taking the field here after the timeout. As you can see, it's a lovely day for a lacrosse game here. Lovely day for a Timberwolves victory as well. Here's hoping. It's been a great stretch here for HCTV. A beautiful game last evening as well. A dominant victory for the Raiders softball team over the cross-town rivals, the Prescott Cardinals. 11-4, I believe, was the final score in that one. We get a nice stiff arm there from Noah Schwamm. Tries to bring it up the field. That was deflected into the pocket of a midfielder there for St. Thomas. I believe that was Crampton. Excuse me, J.P. Marks. So it'll stifle the momentum here for the Raiders, only momentarily. Trying to find a seam. Looking to pass, looking to shoot. Tried to go top shelf and race for the ball one here from Hastings. So we'll take another look there at that shot from Noah Schwamm, the senior captain. First shot on net in this game for Hastings. They're looking to go right back at it. So good. They got to do it twice, and that one deflected from Schumacher, finds its way in the back of the goal, and it's the Raiders who get off to an early 1-0 lead here over the number 8 team in the state. And here we'll see this on replay again. He must have saw something he really liked the first time, and Schwamm on the second shot gets the opening goal here for Hastings with the assist to Carter Hansen.
Number 7, Noah Schwamm.
So the Raiders, they were battered a little bit for the first handful of minutes. They stood tall defensively, and it paid off with a counterpunch right there. A 1-0 lead here for the Raiders as they're looking to go back at it here. Hastings for Hastings on the far side. A spin, pursued here by Meisterling.
Oh my gosh.
And stripped from behind.
And they did that well.
Schumacher brings the ball up. Pass connecting there at the 40. Couldn't connect on the Pirate logo. And now scooped up and returned back towards midfield. We'll have Kronberg subbing off here. New personnel out there for St. Thomas. Pulling up on the near side is Williams. Williams sneaks past the defender, tries to connect on a centering pass there. Tipped in the air off of the stick of Byer. Up top for St. Thomas. Now down low. And a equalizer here for St. Thomas off of the stick of Dominic Clark. And that's going to tie things up here at 1 apiece. We'll get another look on the replay here. Clark already with a handful of shots on net in this one, especially from that near side. And there you can see he beat Colvin. Battle there at the face-off, one here from St. Thomas. It's Williams again. The ball carrier. Swings it out wide. Bushlack retreating here in the corner. And now it's Bushlack trying to gain some momentum, a little stutter step. Off to the far goal line extended. Dipping around. Connects on a pass. A good shove there from Godissa. Now crashing in here on the near side. Working on a couple of Raiders defenders. Rotation here for St. Thomas. Now back up top for Hudson. The leading scorer. Fires a shot. Colvin bunkers down. Makes the save. But the ball's still in play here. Back to Hudson. Pass is tipped. Ultimately recovered from St. Thomas. Maybe a little contact there from Williams, and Williams gives it right back, and that's going to draw the attention there of the referee. So I don't think he was too pleased about maybe some contact there with the stick, and gives it back. Causes a turnover here for St. Thomas. So an unforced error. We'll see if the Raiders can make him pay. Just a one-man army coming up down the field here is Noah Schwam, the goal scorer here for Hastings. Handful of shoves from behind there from Mitchell Reagan. Now Schwam cuts to the inside. Looks to his teammates there at the 30. Gives it off for Hastings. As we'll have Schwam subbing out of this one. Just north of 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And we do have a stoppage here. And there's Frank Clark, the head coach for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Looking to keep the perfect season going here, trying to advance to 10-0 on the year. And we'll return to action here off of Hastings' pass. Still plenty of time to work with here if you're the Raiders offense. Back behind Shoemaker. Skips it out to the near side wing. And we will have a whistle there from the ref. A turnover here for Hastings. And so we'll have Clark pulling the ball up the far side there here for St. Thomas. Now under a minute to go in the opening stanza. Long pass connecting here to Hudson. Certainly hungry to get his first goal of the game. Now Hudson creating some space, fires a low shot, and it was on the outside of the net. It looked a little interesting, hard to tell from up here, but a great net save there, working in favor of Hastings, keeping this one tied here at 1 apiece. Long pass down the field. That's just going to be retrieved there from Schumacher. Thought better about it. And that's going to leave 2 seconds here on the clock. And now Hallis in the end zone will hold on to it. And just like that, the first quarter comes to an end here for the Raiders and the Cadets. After one, it's a 1-1 game here on HCTV.
He gets the pin.
What a move, what a goal! Oh, and a shot scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God! And reaching up and making the play. It's moving. It's over.
Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
One! Touchdown, Raiders!
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And back to action here from McNamara Stadium as we get set for the start of the second quarter. After one, it's a 1-1 ball game here between the Raiders and the Cadets. Schwam, the initial goal scorer in this one, and then we had the equalizer from Clark later on in the first quarter. So
I think I've only ever thrown up once.
pretty slow start for
It wasn't even because like I was
St. Thomas, as they might be getting challenged here in this one. See what kind of adjustments that Coach Frank Clark made in the little 2-minute intermission here. St. Thomas coming off of a 14-8 victory over Chanhassen in their last game. Splitting through a couple of defenders there, now settled down, tamped to the ground there from Colvin. It was Luca Pedri who was snooping around the crease here. And the whistle there for St. Thomas will give them the ball here in the far corner of the end zone. It's Bushlack standing between the posts, looking to drive in, defended there from Birkin. Far side centering pass, and a little sidewinder there goes wide from Pedri. And there you see the shot there on the replay. Certainly a lot of power torqued there from Pedri. Another centering pass, and that'll give St. Thomas the lead. Cadets must have seen something there on that offensive possession, trying the same thing twice. Didn't work the first time, works the second time. As we'll take another look at the replay, and that's going to be scored from Peter Olson. That's going to be his third goal of the season. 5th point on the year. Face-off comes here with 10.5 to go here in the second quarter. Once again taken here from St. Thomas. Pulling around. And he had an uninterrupted track there to Colvin and made him pay. And just like that, it's a 2-goal lead here for St. Thomas. And that's Louis Zavarol getting the goal. That's going to be his 4th goal of the year. So St. Thomas, after being stifled in the first quarter, they've had 2 goals here in the last 30 seconds or so from 2 unusual goal scorers. It's only the 4th goal for Zavarol, 3rd goal for Peter Olson. So Luke Hudson, Tommy Bushlack, Luca Pedri, none of the goal scorers here for St. Thomas. Some of the other figures on this team. Now Hastings here with possession for the first real time here in the second quarter. See what Hastings can cook up here. It's Hastings driving in, maybe tried a behind the back pass there, or maybe he was stripped from behind, hard to tell. Long connecting pass there for Larson. Now Larson off to a teammate, a little tic-tac-toe. Fires a shot wide right there from Zavarol. Looking for goal number 2 here in this quarter, and there you see just the sequence of passes there for the Cadets. And an unassisted goal here for St. Thomas coming out of the replay. And so I believe that's going to be another goal there for Zavarol, as we'll get a better look at the replay there, and just a great position there for Zavarol, the 10th grader. So he's got the 2 last goals here for St. Thomas. Just a few minutes ago it was a 1-1 game here. Now a 3-goal deficit here for the Raiders. Now Hastings looking to cut into the lead here as we'll get a line change here. We'll have a delayed penalty upcoming here against the Cadets. Pass nearly tipped there by a long stick midfielder. Patient approach here for Hastings. Schwam breaking ankles and fires a shot, and that electrifies the bench. They can't believe it. Just a great solo play there from Schwam. Well worth the wait, and that cuts into the deficit here. Just what Hastings needs. That's their first goal here of the second period, and that one from pretty far out there. Had quite some power on that shot there. Gets it past Leo Shoemaker. Shoemaker, 5.4 goals against this season, a 64% save percentage as well. So he's been outstanding for this ranked Cadets team.
You never know though, because like I was supposed to play college. But
So we saw a bunch of goals in a row here for St. Thomas. Now the momentum may be shifting towards Hastings. We'll see if they can score a handful of goals here in quick order, but that's certainly not going to help them as they'll get a penalty on Levi Hoffman. And we'll see here basically right off the face-off there, just an elbow to the back, and that's going to send the freshman off into the penalty box here. So an unforced mistake here for Hastings. You hope that doesn't hurt their momentum too much here following that electric goal from Noah Schwam. Back to action here for the Cadets. The Raiders defending off into the sun. Got some space there on the near side, and a shot and a score there for Luca Pedri as he keeps the deficit here to 3. Only 2 goals for both teams in the first quarter. Already we got 5 here in the second quarter. We'll take another look at Pedri's goal. And just an open lane there for Pedri, as you see Lanning trying to close the distance there from the far side of the netminder. So a massive hit right off of the face-off there. Probably was going to be won by Hastings
they like fell into each other.
regardless, but now it's going to be given here to St. Thomas. A thunderous hit leveled there from a Raiders midfielder.
Like this guy's head. I know I already said it. It's pretty.
Luke Hudson, the leading point getter here for the Cadets, gives it off to Pedri. Pedri closing in, goes over the top. And the second goal in a quick succession there for Pedri
I had that.
gives St. Thomas a 6-2 lead. This St. Thomas offense starting to roll downhill here in the second quarter.
Scoring for the Cadets, number 34, Luca Pedri, with the assist to number 17, Luke Hudson.
And it's the same story as the last goal for Pedri, just ample room to move on that near side and just slides up for a point-blank goal. Back to the face-off circle.
Much better at like the boys. Like
Nearly taken there from Hoffman, but now the Cadets with possession. Clark stops at the 10, gives it off for Hudson. Now retreating back here to the near side corner is Dominic Clark.
he's gonna try and go in.
Hudson connects on a pass, shot fired, and goes wide right of Colvin. Now driving in from the baseline up top in the corner. And it was saved there from Colvin. I don't even think he saved a shot. I think he saved a pass. There was just a cluster up in front. Now Colvin coming 25 yards out of the crease there. Turned over. Colvin has to retreat. pass. And another goal here for St. Thomas, as they had a couple of players there
Yeah, mine's a little further out, but I'm pretty sure I have
on a sort of mini breakaway. Brings the lead here to 5.
Scoring for the Cadets, number 14, Dominic Clark with the assist to number 3, Louis Zavarol.
And there we see it was Clark getting his second goal of this one, the assist to Zavarol, who already had 2 goals earlier in the quarter. Back to the face-off circle here. It's going to be awarded to Hastings. Esterby finding some space. Massive hit
I did get that.
carried out there from J.P. Marks. Here we get a better look here on the replay. There you see Marks just laying it down. Now it's Schwam cradling on the far side, just like how we scored that previous goal. Had the same idea there, but sailed it a little too high and crashed out of bounds. It was shaping up just like the last Hastings goal. Now back to action. Hansen dancing back behind the net.
Now he's going to elbow.
The Raiders holding on. Back to Hansen. Favoring that far side. Hansen. And denied from behind. Might have been something interesting there, but a solid defensive play there from J.P. Marks. Now Liam Gotch, first time we're calling him in this one, carries it up the field.
Ooh, we got that grab ball.
Eventually turned over, stolen away from Grant Cook. Now Hastings just whipping the ball down the field to Hansen. Can't quite hold on as that rolls out of bounds just north of 4 minutes to go here before halftime. Now plenty of space here for St. Thomas to bring the ball up.
I'm so used to women's.
Posted up at the 25 is Luke Hudson. Brings it near the goal line extended, then reverses course. Tries to connect on a pass there, but couldn't to Crampton. Hastings stripped from behind. And settled down here up top for Pedri. Pedri had the right idea, tried to connect over to Clark, looking for a hat trick. Sailed it a little far to the left there, so it'll be the Raiders with possession. Another long pass and a collision causes the Raiders to lose the ball there. That was McGraw. Now with momentum, over to the near side for Hudson. Little stiff arm, Hudson up to a teammate, a good whack from behind, maybe too good of a whack from behind. And that's going to be given here to St. Thomas. Physical game here in this one between these two teams, both desperate to get a win here. Now Pedri cutting a corner, trying to get a jump shot, a little hit from behind as he misses his shot.
I know that I'm like not supposed to be
Pedri's been all around the net here in this one.
even when I'm like up there playing.
Whacked by a couple of Raiders, and then a hit at the end for good measure. Like we were saying before about the physicality, now Gudissa
I'm not. Oh my gosh.
sends it over to Colvin.
I was literally talking before
It was in
the time.
hot pursuit of Clark there.
To us. I just think that they have good shots.
Both teams are scraping for the ball there. Now a pass down low and a goal here for Dominic Clark.
Their girls team plays on
That's going to be a hat trick here for Clark, his second goal in a row. We've seen plenty of repeat goal scorers here. Zavarol scored 2 in a row. Clark now scoring 2 in a row. And we will get a timeout called here on the field with 2:35 to go before halftime. Now a 6-point lead here for the visiting Cadets. It's a Cadets team that has not faced much resistance this year. Their closest game probably came in their season opener on the road against Orono. It was an 11-7 win. They've had some pretty sizable victories down the stretch. 16-4 victory over Egan, a 14-3 victory over St. Paul Two Rivers. And they travel well. Good amount of fans out here as St. Thomas takes the field as well. It's a St. Thomas team that's only played one game in the last 12 days. They had a canceled game on the 5th against Simley. Could explain the slow first quarter for the St. Thomas offense, but they've really picked up here with 7 goals here in the second quarter. So now back to the face-off circle here after the timeout. And it'll be one here for the Raiders. Not going to come back all the way here before halftime, but we'll see if the Raiders can stack some goals here to make the equation a little more manageable in the second half. Whistle here on the near side, turns the ball over here for Hastings. Long pass there, connects at the 50 for Zavarol. Zavarol looking for a hat trick here, and this one already has 2. And a wide off-balance shot there from Nathan Williams. Bushlack behind the crease. Couldn't connect with Hudson. Hudson back towards the Cadets bench. Out of Williams at the point. Williams drawing the attention there of a handful of Raiders. And now a measured approach as we'll get a 4-angled shot there from Williams. Just north of a minute to go here before halftime, and we'll have a goal sneaking in past that top corner, as that's going to be Bushlack with his first goal here this evening. And that's going to make it 5 unanswered goals here for St. Thomas. There you see, just sneaks around the back of the crease, beats his defender, Birkin, and puts it top shelf there to extend the lead here for St. Thomas. Face off, pops out. Eventually It might be won by Hastings. There we go. The faceoff now won from Hastings 40 yards down the field. Pursued from behind is a Raiders defender. That's Birkin. Turned over for Nick Laska. Laska passes to the far side, and another goal here for Bushlack. Another consecutive goal here for a St. Thomas player. Is now with 30 seconds to go. The lead continuing to grow here for the visiting Cadets.
Number 21, Tommy Bushlack with the assist to number 17.
That'll make it goal number 29 on the season for Bushlack. Raiders scooping up the ball, stumbled and pulled away from Hudson. Hudson with a Raider on all three sides there. Sends a pass over, bounces away from Crampton. And out of the field of play awarded here to Hastings. Colvin had to fire that one over here to the near side. And like that, we'll reach halftime here at McNamara Stadium. It was a close one early. It was 1-1 after one. The lead blown open from St. Thomas, and now we're looking at a 10-2 game here as we head into halftime, as St. Thomas, the number 8 team in the state, looks to stay perfect here. The Raiders looking to get back to their winning ways here on HCTV.
The United Heroes League mainly uses sports as a bridge to help military families stay active and engaged in their communities. We have over 40 professional teams that partner with us for free tickets and camps. We provide access to free sporting equipment.
UHL has provided us with a lot of equipment and a lot of gear that is otherwise sometimes hard to attain.
It's really cool. I get all this free stuff, and it's because of my great dad, who is a veteran.
UHL has been a great supporter, not just for our family, but for all the military families.
We're excited to see what the future holds. We can't wait to see where it goes.
But here is the difference for the class of 1990.
We went from Mile High Eagles to Allen Peg.
I know you're all excited about Y2K. You could lose power or party like it's 1999.
Hastings High School has been graduating seniors since the first commencement in 1870. Congratulations, class of 2023. Go Raiders!
Funding for community TV is in rapid decline, and HCTV will not survive without your help. Let your local representatives know that you support community TV. To learn more, visit savecommunitytv.com.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Boys Lacrosse here on HCTV. We're getting ready to come back from halftime. It's a 10-2 lead for the Cadets over the Raiders as we take a look at the 3A standings. There you can see St. Thomas right towards the top there, somehow below Eastridge, who only has one win in the section, and they're undefeated on the season, the only undefeated team in the 3A standings. And Hastings right in the middle of the pack there, looking to move up here tonight, but they'll have a tall task here in the second half, down 8 goals. We'll see if they can get back to their defensive ways in the first quarter, where they only allowed 1 goal. Noah Schwam has both of the goals for Hastings. Clark with 3 for St. Thomas. Pedri, Bushlack, and Zavarol all with 2 goals for St. Thomas as well. Sun starting to set here at McNamara Stadium. The Raiders playing on the favorable side of the field here to start the second half as they look to mount an attack here on the near side, led by Grant Cook. Just an 8th grader here for the Raiders, as we'll have an immediate whistle. We did have a delayed penalty right in front of the St. Thomas bench. We also had a second penalty flag coming in closer to the crease. And that's going to send Pedri off into the box here. Pedri with, like we said earlier, 2 goals in the game, both coming in the second quarter. Handful of different goal scorers here for St. Thomas. None of them Hudson thus far, who's been held to no goals. And so we'll return to action here. The Raiders on the attack, working the umbrella. Back behind Shoemaker. Pass might have been deflected, ends up with Hastings regardless. Very patient approach here from the Raiders. Towards the near side, it's Hansen. Now back over to the far side. They can't quite hold on there. Boxed out from Christopher Clark, and now a good shove in the back there from Raiders player, and that's going to draw the attention of the refs. And we'll see there, just a box out from Clark, and then a hit from behind there from a Raiders attack. So it'll give possession here to the Cadets at midfield, under 10 to go here in the third quarter. Couple of passes here on the far side of the setup here for the Cadets. Hudson tried to assist it there to Pedri, fired a rocket that went past Colvin. Centering pass tipped off of the stick of Byer. We'll have a delayed penalty here. Colvin coming out of the net. And a whistle here, 9.5 to go here in the third quarter. Another whistle here against the Raiders. Or excuse me, scratch that, the Cadets. It's going to be the Raiders who end up with possession here. And so I believe that's going to send well, now I'm not certain. I thought it was going to send Pedri to the box, but it looks like they'll send Bushlack to the box here. So now Hastings with a chance to put a goal on the board here. Try to stop the bleeding and work their way back in this one. Up top, a shot fired. And possession staying here with Hastings. They had the right idea on that one. From the goal line extended here to the near side. Up top for Schwamm. Looking for his third goal here. Connects on the assist to Carter Hansen. And so the Raiders will get the scoring started here in the second half. Off of the stick of Hansen, a point-blank shot there for the captain, set up from Noah Schwamm. That's going to be his third point of the game. There you can see just like an underhanded pass there from Schwamm. And just too close to the crease for Shoemaker to do much about it. So now a 7-point deficit here for Hastings. They'll get possession there off of the little face-off battle. It's Byer who leaves it back for a teammate, and Hansen pushed out of bounds there from J.P. Marks. Turned over right into the stick of Noggle. Now Noggle looking back towards midfield. Sends it off for Hastings. Hastings galloping there on the far side, slows it down, surveys the defense here. A wraparound Shoemaker. Hastings to Hansen. Up top for Schwamm. Schwamm with a little stutter step. Tried to create some space down low. Thought about splitting the difference there. A swim. Some tight defense here from St. Thomas. Worked him a little too far, but he lost the ball and got hit. Ball's going to end up over near the scorer's table. So the sequence doesn't result in any points there for Hastings, but certainly some encouraging signs there offensively, as we will get a push from behind. Flag coming in from over in front of the St. Thomas bench. And there you can see just a blatant shove from behind there from Gotch. So now the Raiders, after Gotch goes to the box here, they'll look to post up here from the 30. Collapsing defense there for St. Thomas. That one winged a little too high, raced for from Grant Cook. There you can see the shot from Matthew Noggle. Schwam again thought about a little centering pass, trying to get an assist there to one of his attack. Sailed out of bounds there. So now it's Clark. Christopher Clark with speed will have a penalty upcoming here against Hastings. Clark checks out. 6.5 to go here in quarter number 3. Bushlack off for Pedri. Pedri taking his time here. Looks for a player to rotate in. That was Williams. Now Williams circles around, spikes the ball out of bounds. Race there from McGraw. Will stay here with the visitors. And so we will have a timeout here called on the field. Under 6 to go. A Raider heading to the box. It was quite the delayed penalty there off of the cautious approach from St. Thomas. We would like to thank the Spool House for sponsoring this broadcast. From prom to weddings, let us suit your formal wear needs. More information is available at thespoolhouse.com. So Hastings down 7, looking to pull off the win here. It's been a winless May for this Raiders team, albeit only 2 games in the month. They're coming off of a 23-3 loss on the road at Eden Prairie, and a 9-18 loss on the road against Hill Murray. They did have a 22-8 win again on the road versus Simley. So like we said earlier in the broadcast, they sort of got a lot of their road games out of the way at the beginning of the season. They are in action next Monday versus Chisago Lakes. That'll be here from McNamara Stadium, right next to the beer stube. I'm sure Tuck appreciates that. For all we know, Tuck might be at the beer stube right now. So both teams coming out here following the timeout. Possession here with St. Thomas. Pedri, a short pass, and a goal here for St. Thomas right out of the timeout. And that's Pedri assisting Bushlack. And that's going to be the first goal of the third quarter here for St. Thomas. Bushlack now with a hat trick. He has scored the last 3 goals for St. Thomas. So it's been all Bushlack. Lead holding steady here at 8. Tie up here on the face-off. Ultimately scooped up there from Meisterling. Senior captain, 4 points on the year. That one shot and bounced from the post off into the Raiders bench. About 40 yards here. We'll take another look at this one here. It might have even went off the goal post. Hard to tell where that one landed. As long as it doesn't touch gridiron. So now off the whistle, St. Thomas going to go on the offense here. Referee talking it over with Pedri. And it's going to be given here to Hastings after a little bit of deliberation. So now Esterby brings it up the middle, cuts to the outside. Hot pursuit, loses the ball, and scooped up from Olsen. Olsen, who had a goal, the first goal for St. Thomas in the second quarter. A couple of quick passes. Now Bushlack retreats. It's over to Hudson. Hudson directing traffic. Defended by Hallis. Hudson. Laser focused here. Sends it off, fires, and a goal there for Nathan Williams. His first goal of the game. That's going to be his 8th goal of the season. His 19th point on the year, has 11 assists to go with that. Here we'll see Hudson still kept scoreless. He's the leading scorer for the Cadets. He had 34 goals and 16 assists coming into this one, but he's really been a fantastic facilitator in this one. He draws so much attention from the Raiders defense, and rightfully so when you have 50 points in 9 games. But he is showing that he's certainly multifaceted. He's a tremendous goal scorer, but he's also a great point guard out here for this St. Thomas offense. A lot of it has been ran through him. So now south of 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We'll have yet another delayed penalty, this time against St. Thomas. Hansen tried a wraparound shot there to no avail, but it will draw a whistle here. So maybe a prime opportunity here for Hastings coming up. And it'll be Christopher Clark taking the box here for St. Thomas.
I was fast with that. I was actually happy. I see him. It's elbow.
Back to action here. Hastings sets up in their offense. Hansen waves over a teammate, sends it down low for Hastings. Now Noggle at the top of the attack. Shot fired there from Hastings. Crashing in was Hansen. And a save there from Shoemaker. A leaping shot there, scores for Noah Schwam. And that's going to be a hat trick for Schwam. He had the opening goal in this one. He had another goal in the second. Now he scores here in the third. I believe he also assisted on the Hansen goal as well. So talk about Hudson really being the facilitator of offense for St. Thomas. Well, it's certainly been Schwam here as the creator of offense here for Hastings. And that draws him back to 8. Another tough tie up there on the face-off. Going to be scooped up there for Laska. Now Laska tiptoeing along the sidelines. Up to Hudson. Defended by Esterby.
Nice job, Nick.
We got a switching there of personnel, some contact. Ball was initially poked away from Hastings, ends up back with St. Thomas. Hudson stripped at the 15, right in front of Colvin. Centering pass, stolen away from Byer. Byer slings it down to Hansen, racing for the ball, pursued from behind. Now working his way towards Schumacher. Takes a look at a teammate crashing in from the far side. That was Hoffman. Back to Schwam at the logo. Tremendous footwork on display from Schwam here this evening. A little collision, but Hansen relinquishes the ball. Goes for contact there. Sets the Raiders back, but they nearly took possession. It ends up back right in the pocket of Hudson. Hudson down low for a teammate. Tried a second pass, and the shot just a little off from Zavarel. Might have even made contact with that far side post past Colvin. Under 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Hudson again directing traffic. There's almost a double team there on Hudson. A little push from behind sends Pedri off his pedestal. Now it's Bushlack. Back to Pedri. And we will get a whistle. It's going to be a timeout here with 1:01 to go here before the next intermission. St. Thomas really wanting to talk it over here. Up 8, trying to extend this lead, continue their winning ways here. Like we said at the top of the broadcast, they're the number 8 team in the state. Handful of undefeated teams up top, and they're one of them. You could argue about how you want to rank any one of them. They're all good teams, and St. Thomas is certainly a premier team this year, and most years, in most sports. But certainly this year in lacrosse. Fans over on Town Square Television certainly know that. Also picking up the game here. Sun is just holding on here. The lights are starting to get brighter here from McNamara Stadium as both teams return out of the timeout. A minute to work with here for St. Thomas. Crampton working on Goodissa. Back to Hudson. Hudson fires the shot, and that goes wide left. Town Square Television fans certainly know what that means. And so we'll have Hudson walking off, a little mini stoppage here. And we'll return back with 40 seconds. Some fancy cradling back up to Pedri. Pulling back was Clark. Near side wing. Up top. For a mystery number 43 on the roster. If anybody knows, be sure to let us know on the YouTube channel. Shot fired, nearly scooped up from Colvin. Pushed out towards the entrance. And a centering pass connects a shot. Spiking right in front of Colvin, just goes wide right. And just like that, we'll reach the conclusion here of the third quarter. Not quite as eventful as the second quarter in terms of goal scoring, but the lead slowly growing here for St. Thomas as they look to make it 10-0 here in 2026.
Once again, Twin Cities are located
Todd's in the hospital.
From vaping. Promise you won't vape, Emma.
Not cool.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Back to action here from McNamara Stadium. 1 quarter to go. It's a 12-4 lead for the visiting St. Thomas Academy Cadets over the Hastings Raiders. The number 8 team in the state versus the number 55 team in the state. Hastings having a good showing, particularly in the first quarter. Saw an offensive explosion in the second quarter. Handful of different goal scorers for both teams. Schwam with a hat trick for Hastings. Hansen with the goal, and I think we might have a timeout here. 19 seconds into the fourth quarter. Can't imagine what needs to be talked about now that couldn't have been talked about 19 seconds ago. Well, something's been sorted out here. Looks like we'll return back to action momentarily. This is a Hastings team that has 3 more games on the regular season schedule. They'll be back, like we said earlier, on next Monday versus Chisago Lakes. Then they'll have a game the following Tuesday on the road at Chanhassen before they close out the season a couple Fridays from now at Lakeville South. It's Colvin putting the clamps down. Pursued hotly there from Dominic Clark. And another long pass, trying to set it up to Hansen. Shoemaker comes out, turns it over. Both teams battling for the ball. A dangerous situation there for St. Thomas. Although they're no worse for the wear there. Now, match a herd ball was breaking out there on the far side, but Hastings looks to get a new player in here. It's Levi Hoffman. Schwam slings it down low. A bouncing off-balance pass there. A race for the ball. Going to stay here with Hastings. We've seen the offensively gifted Schwam really carry the load here for Hastings in the absence of their leading goal scorer, Tony Malesio. Obviously with a handful of goals here, but had that assist with Hansen and a couple of other nice starts of plays that could have ended up with the goal. It's the nature of lacrosse, certainly around the net, anything can happen. Collision here between a handful of players. Now it's the Cadets and Pedri. Up for Hudson, sails that one wide left, and you can see he wishes he had that one back. Back in, Pedri was around the ball. Now Bushlack. Gives it off for Turnbow. First time we've called his name here tonight. Hudson almost posting up like in basketball and fires that one. A sniping shot there from Hudson, and that's going to be his first goal of this contest. It's going to be the first goal for anybody here in the fourth quarter. As we get another look at this, there you can see he's almost like a power forward, sort of posting his back up there on Esterby, and just turns around and fires that one in. You could tell on that earlier shot, he sailed it a little. It was pretty far out, but he sailed it a little to the left. Wishes he had that one back, and certainly makes up for it there and gets on the board for St. Thomas. That's his 35th goal of the season. Now Hastings really had some momentum and speed going down the field there, but turns it over on a pass for Wicks. Now Wicks battling for the ball between a couple of Raiders. Scooped up, spun around there from Dominic Clark. And Hudson touches it, but we will get a whistle. Possession is going here to Hastings. Nearly stripped from behind. I don't know if you saw him, but he got the pass off in time. Sets it up nicely here for Hastings with under 9 to go. 9-point lead here for St. Thomas. Schwamm beats his man. Greeted by Meisterling. Ball turned over, a little shove there from Noggle. Now Zavarol, plenty of space, running right up the seam. Tries to connect on a pass over to Bushlack and sails out of the field of play. So it'll be Kaysen Esterby passing it in. Tipped off of Caden Esterby. Now a 1-on-2 there. A little bit of contact as Caden Esterby, to be more specific, hits the deck. And it looks like we will have yet another timeout called here in this one. Both teams looking to finish this game strong here. Well, we'll take a look at the 3A standings. And there you see, like we said before, St. Thomas right at the top, somehow below Eastridge, but with a more impressive resume. And Hastings right towards the middle of the pack, right around Cretin-Derham Hall and Egan. Most importantly for Hastings, they're ahead of Park there, 1 and 3 in the section, 2 and 7 overall. Simley and Trimac both looking for their first wins of the season. They'll have a few more games each to try to accomplish that. But it's a short and tumultuous season, the lacrosse season, really any of the spring sports with the weather. It seems like you always get a late start coming back in the spring. It seems like those fall seasons are so much longer. These spring seasons, they just go by. Get a lot of cancellations, although we've been fairly lucky this year as Hansen, like he shot out of a gun, drives in towards Shoemaker and scores for Hastings. And Hansen there with the unassisted goal. That's going to make it 13-5 for St. Thomas. That's going to be the second goal for Hansen here in the second half, and just sort of off tempo. I mean, he came out like a man possessed from basically midfield and just ran through a handful of Cadets defenders. Sometimes to score, it requires great hand-eye coordination and good passing, and sometimes it just takes playing iso ball right there and just running unopposed to the net. So off the face-off, it was pushed a friendly Hastings way, but it'll be taken here from St. Thomas, now stolen away for the Raiders. On the far side, posting up was Beyer. Now Beyer checks out. Schwam checks in here for Hastings. Hastings looking to move here at the 40. One-on-one, cuts to the outside with great speed, fires a shot, and just a bit off the mark there on Shoemaker. And there's another look there, a tough angle, but get so much speed from beating his defender. Now here's Hansen. Smacked at from a couple of Cadets midfielders. Alice turns it over. Now Marks, plenty of room here for Marks. Draws the defender too high. And a goal here for Dominic Clark. That's going to make it a hat trick for Clark. Extends the lead to 9. Just a great sequence for St. Thomas. Here you can see he pulls the defender. There's nobody really around Clark, and basically can just golf swing that against Colvin. So that was a textbook play there for St. Thomas. The benefit to having all of that space be unimpeded for the ball carrier there, basically from their own 40 to the Raiders 30. Six and a half to go here in regulation. A long pass does connect with Hansen, tries to turn the corner, fires a shot, and that one just off the mark to the right there from Hansen, looking to get a hat trick, a second half hat trick. A lot to like about Hansen's game, a lot to like about Schwam's game in this one. And now Hastings holding down the fort there. Beyer briefly turned over there off of some offensive motion there for Hastings. Now Johnson carries the ball up, leaves it for O'Grady as we start to see some fresh faces here for the St. Thomas team, up 9 with under 6 to go. A couple of more mystery numbers for St. Thomas out there as well, including number 39, if anybody has that. Feel free to let us know in the comments. So O'Grady off to the mystery man. Sends it down low, back behind Colvin. Thought about backhanding it in there. A collision between a couple of players, some pushing and shoving, but Colvin standing tall there, as did the rest of the Raiders defense, and we just get an 80-yard Gilman down the court. It is, or down the field, excuse me, and it is recovered here from Hansen. Hansen working his way in, gets overturned. Race for the ball. And we'll stay here with the Raiders. So the Raiders not giving up here in the fourth quarter, still playing with a great pace. Tucked away here in the near side corner. Pulls back to the 20. Couple of spin moves, trying to beat his defenders is Cook. Cook off to the far side. Hastings still on the prowl here. And is turned over, scooped up by a Cadet defender. That's Thomas Wicks. Now with speed. Thought about working his way down the field, cut to the inside, a couple of passes. The last one doesn't connect for Johnny O'Grady. I think maybe a Cadets player thought that one was still in the field of play. We do get the whistle to resume there from the ref. Just north of 3 minutes to go here. A little contact there with Case and Esterby, and maybe some words after as well. Back to action. Ian Turnbow leaves it off for Zavaril. Zavaril working his way through the Raiders' defense there. Fires a shot. Lots of pushing and shoving here. Colvin gets the save, but that draws two different flags here. Things are getting chippy. It's been fairly physical all game, but certainly a fair physical game, not physical in a dirty way, but you can tell the game means a lot to both teams. So it looks like one player each heads over. Looks like they send Birkin over to the Raiders box, and then they send Louis Zavaril over. Hudson comes off. Hudson and Hastings coming over. We might have even had an additional flag on the way to the box. A lot to sort out here between the refs as they talk it out, but it looks like they've figured it out. So it ends up with a player each in the box and a couple of players maybe subbed out there. Shot doesn't work. A good hearty hit there from Andrew McGraw for the Raiders. And we'll get yet another whistle here. A lot of pushing and shoving here at the end of some of these runs here for both teams. A shot stuffed there from Colvin, but still in the field of play there on the far side. Scooped up there from Bushlack. Bushlack takes a tumble, yard sale. And it goes out of bounds. Well, here's a look at that last sequence there. Sometimes you just lose your footing there on turf, especially when you're trying to make all these spin moves. So the ball ends up deep here in the St. Thomas zone. Under 2 to play here in regulation. Solid whack there, connects against an unnamed number 45. Handful of new players in here for St. Thomas, getting some experience. And what will be their 10th win of the season. Petrie subbing off here for the Cadets. And we do get a whistle halting the offensive progress there for St. Thomas. Ball given to Kaysen Esterby. Connects on a pass to Schwam. 1 minute to go here in regulation. We'll see if Schwam can't add another. Schwam drives in, crashes against the crease. And and it's just on the outside of the net. Gets briefly caught up there in the outside. Schwalm was looking for goal number 4 in this one. Had a hat trick earlier, 2 goals for Hansen in this one. Now some space, a bouncing, spiking shot there for Reagan. Finds its way out of bounds. So we have a couple of players subbing off here for the Cadets. In the twilight here of this one. St. Thomas looking to add another goal to their lead. It's stuffed from Colvin. Raiders in their own end zone. Scooped it up, send it forward now. Hudson slides in a shot, and with 3 seconds to go, Hudson gets his second goal of the game, his second goal of the 4th quarter. Raiders defense did a good job at letting Hudson not score, although he was racking up some assists throughout the game, but he will finish with 2 goals in this one. Makes the Raiders pay for that sloppy mistake right there. 36th goal on the season for Hudson, and we'll have a face-off here just to be official, but this is going to be a 15-5 victory here for St. Thomas over Hastings on the road here at McNamara Stadium. And a little pushing and shoving there on the faceoff, and like that, it's going to be a decisive win here for St. Thomas on the road, 15-5 over the Hastings Raiders. They'll advance to 10-0 on this undefeated perfect season, and surely they'll maintain their number 8 spot in the rankings, if not go up, depending on a couple of those top teams. That's certainly a team to watch out for in the postseason. The Raiders are going to drop to 2-6 on the year. They'll be back in action on May 18th. That's a Monday against Chisago Lakes. I believe we'll have that here on HCTV for you fans. And then they'll close out the year on the road at Chanhassen and at Lakeville South. So with that, we'd like to thank producer and director Hunter Pinkey, camera operators Ian Andrasak, Avery Cheeseman, and Max Slocum. The Raiders falling to the Cadets 15-5 here on HCTV Sports. I'm Owen Ely. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.